And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to the Trend Report Live. I'm glad you're here today. And if you're live joining us, please drop a note in the chat to let us know that you're there, because this is my first ever LinkedIn Live. So, guys, welcome to the guinea pig. And I sure hope it's working. So, yeah, somebody, if you're watching, be sure to drop a note in the chat so that I can see that it is live. So again, welcome to the Trend Report Live. This is our first LinkedIn Live broadcast. And today we're actually going to be talking about an upcoming event called Spring Breakout. And I have the two sponsors here with me about this event. And we're going to actually chat a little bit about what this event is, why it's important, and where it's going to take place, and who some of the exhibitors are, and things of that nature. So I'd like to welcome Rob and John with me today. So Rob, why don't you take a minute and introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Rob Kirkbride. I am editor of at Bellow Press. We're publishers of Business of Furniture, Workplaces, and Midpoint magazines.
Awesome. And John?
Hi, I'm John Strassner. I'm Director of Industry Partnerships here at Asid.
Well, we're glad that both of you are here today, and it does appear that we have viewers. The chat is working, so that's great. So guys, let's start out with just a really simple question. What is Spring Breakout?
Well, why don't I grab that one, John? Spring Breakout was designed to be an event to get people back out and interacting with commercial interiors products. We've been cooped up for over a year now. Nobody has been able to do really any shows or anything large or meaningful in terms of getting people into and around commercial interior products. So the decision was made to take the show on the road, take the products to the people so they feel comfortable, so they don't have to do the traveling themselves.
Sure. I mean, I know, Rob, you've talked many times before about feeling cooped up and what it's like to be confined, right? So this is a great opportunity to actually get out.
Yeah, for sure. Delta Airlines is really upset with me right now. I used to be platinum, and I think I'm a member now of their frequent flyer program.
Right.
But yeah, it's really important. We work in an industry where the products really need to be seen and interacted with. It's not an industry that really lends itself to virtual presentations, although I've seen some really good ones done over the last year and very clever things. It's just not the same.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, John, from your perspective, I know why Rob's doing it and why the Bellow Press is involved. What was the motivation for ASID to get involved in this event?
Well, it's been, as everybody can attest, it's been a challenging year, and we're in a very tactile industry, and we have designers out there that are dying to get out there and see product firsthand and touch product and kick the tires. And ASID is an association that, we really work hard to create this community for our design members. And we want them to be educated. We want them to be aware. We want them to be connected to the industry. And so we thought that, the Spring Breakout roadshow would, if we could do it safely and we could keep all of the health regulations in place, and we could do it in a way that people felt comfortable in the setting, then it was going to be a real value to membership.
Yeah, there's no doubt that we as an industry and a lot of other industries and a lot of their businesses, we are missing this component of connectivity, right? We haven't been able to gather and, that socialization. I mean, as human beings, we're social. And so we've been missing that. And this does provide a great opportunity to do that, but also to see some really cool products. And so we got several people in the chat, and somebody asked where it will be held. Ron was asking about where it would be held. We're getting there. We're going to share all that great information about locations and that kind of stuff. So, excuse me, I think we've already talked about it, but Rob, let me go back to you for a second. if you had to, in just like a couple of sentences, why is this important?
Well, I think, while the world has been on hold, the companies in our industry have not. I mean, they have continued to do what they do, and that's make amazing products, putting together great products to show people. They just haven't had people to show.
Yeah.
And, I think some companies have tried to do this a little bit on their own. There have been some kind of on the road events that reps and dealers have tried to do, and some manufacturers. We just feel there's, really power in the numbers, power in the larger collective group that can bring in people and really give the manufacturers a chance to show their products and designers a chance to see what's new in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's jump in. When and where is all this going to take place? We'll test your memory to see if you guys know the locations and the dates.
I have a cheat sheet. So
of course you do. Just the perfect journalist has got the cheat sheet, right?
Right.
So
make us all bad.
May 11th is the first stop, and that is in Dallas, Texas. I want to pick up on something that John touched on, and that's the health and safety. Our first stop is in Texas, which is a place where apparently you don't have to wear masks.
Welcome to the Wild West, Rob.
And things are pretty much open. I live in Michigan, where it's exactly the opposite. Things are kind of COVID's still around. We're still wearing masks. Things are shut down for the most part. It was really important for us when we were planning this to plan a safe event. And regardless of the location, masks are going to be required. There's going to be sanitation stations. One of the things we're voluntarily asking our folks who are registering for the event is if they've been vaccinated, which, you don't have to be vaccinated to attend, but it allows us to set standards for the number of people we're allowed to have in each location. One of the challenges in setting this up is we're in, 8 different cities, each of which have their own rules and regulations as far as COVID is concerned. In fact, one of the stops we were going to make was New York, and we just couldn't make it happen. It just wasn't going to happen with their regulations that, they have in place right now, which is fine. We understand that. We want everyone to feel safe and comfortable to come to these events. So that's really important. Now back to I guess I should answer your question.
I think it's, you bring up a really good point, which is registration. There is a location to register. We'll put that website address up for you in a few minutes. We are asking everyone to register. If you don't register, then we'll register you at the location. The importance of, if you have been vaccinated, you check the box, it is voluntary, it's not a requirement to say that you've been vaccinated. What that does, vaccinated individuals don't count in the people count as it relates towards the head count of the overall event, because you have indeed been vaccinated. So if you have been vaccinated, we encourage you to check the box so that we know, because if the space holds 300 and we have 100, if the space allotment based on regulations is 300, but we have 100 people that have been vaccinated, then we actually have the capacity for 400 people, if you will, theoretically, to attend the event. So that's why it's important. So Rob, keep going. The locations: Dallas is May 11th, and that's at the Empire Room, which is in the Design District in downtown Dallas. I'm certainly excited to be here for that, because I'm in Texas as well. So next up
is Atlanta. That is May 14th, and that is at the West Side Warehouse. Then we go to Charlotte, a unique location in Charlotte, which is Bank of America Stadium, which, we'll have use of the Jumbotron. Obviously, we're not going to have the event on the field, but, we will be in Charlotte for that.
That's
Then,
actually really exciting to be at the
That's-
Panther football stadium, right, John?
That's your chance to be on the jumbotron, say, you know.
yeah, and from what I hear, you can see that jumbotron from across the city. It's right next to the highway, and
Yep.
lots of people see that.
And that's right on the edge of downtown. It's been years since I've been to Charlotte, but that stadium is like right on the edge of downtown, so it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah,
great spot.
that'll be cool. Then we are in Baltimore, and in Baltimore we are at the name's eluding me, but the art museum.
It's the assembly room.
Right, the assembly room. It's the basically an art museum there. Then we go to Pittsburgh, and that is the location that we swapped out with New York.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm getting a call right now, which I'm gonna.
Welcome to LinkedIn Live, Rob.
Then we
Pittsburgh's
are
a great
in,
city, though. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's just a great spot.
Yeah, we're finalizing the location of the Pittsburgh, and then there's obviously Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, right? That's at the.
I'll help you out. Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts.
Right. That's the art museum. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through
Rob,
everything.
I thought you said you had a cheat sheet.
Yeah, you said you had a cheat
sheet. For somebody with a cheat sheet, he's failing miserably.
The last two I know really well, right? So Columbus is at Brewdog, which will be a really fun location. And the final stop, which will be June 2nd, will be in Chicago at a location we all know, which is the Merchandise Mart. We're ending the series at the Mart. It's a great location. Everybody knows it. The design community already obviously knows how to get there. It gives our exhibitors a chance to kind of bring the show back into their showrooms at the Mart. And for those who don't have showrooms in the Mart, it'll give them a chance to kind of see what the Mart's about as well. Maybe bring some new tenants to the iconic building there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to recap those dates and the locations. So May the 11th, we're in Dallas at the Empire Room. May the 14th, we're in Atlanta at the Westside Warehouse. On May the 17th, we're in Charlotte at the Bank of America Stadium. And then May the 19th, we're at the Assembly Room in Baltimore. And then Philadelphia's next, Rob, on May the 21st at the Pennsylvania Fine Arts Academy. And then May the 24th is Pittsburgh in a location to be determined. So stay tuned for more info on that one. And then Columbus is May the 26th at the Brewdog Museum, microbrewery there in Columbus. And then the wrapping up on June the 2nd at the Merchandise Mart in Chicago. So that's going to be a really big event. And we're super excited about that. So let's go on and talk about the exhibitors. So can you share with us who some of the exhibitors are for the event?
Yeah, I think it's a really great mix of exhibitors. I mean, these are companies that are kind of a mix of up and coming brands and established brands. So we have Claridge Products, Indiana Furniture, Scandinavian Spaces, Trinity, Green Hides, KFI Studios, 9 to 5, Nook, Kesselbomer, who you might not know as a brand, but you know their products. They're the height adjustable table component manufacturers. John T. Craft, the Fellows brands, which are ESI and Trendway. We will have Etc., which is the really cool and up and coming brand from Kimball and Amtab. So really strong group of exhibitors that are all promising to bring, new products. You're not going to see a bunch of old stuff that you've seen before. This is, going to be mostly new things and that was important to us as well, because that's really what this is all about, is kind of seeing the stuff we haven't seen for the last year and a half.
So, John, what are your thoughts about the exhibitor list? Because it is a really impressive list.
No, I think it's diverse. I think that it's also brands that you don't see every day, that I think they're going to bring us some new looks, and that's what's going to make it interesting. Because when you think about the brands, the big guys, I feel like we see and hear from them on a pretty regular basis. And so it's always nice to hear from brands that you don't hear about all that often. So I think that's what's going to make it really, really interesting. And I love the fact that this thing is going to wind up at the Mart, because there were a lot of us that didn't think we would be in Chicago in June, and look at this, we just might be.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something that we had not thought about. I do think that it is exciting because, John, to your point earlier about that, the voices in our industry, the loudest voices in our industry, typically are the largest brands, and typically those that also have the resources to do things like this. So I love the fact that this is a platform for really important brands in our industry to go out and showcase their products, meet the community, meet designers, engage, and just really be the first, if you will, to get out and about. So I'm going to recap the exhibitors list really quickly so everybody can make sure that we're hearing the exhibitors. So we have 9 to 5 seating, Claridge, etc., Green Hides, Jaunty Craft, KFI Studios, Scandinavian Spaces, Amtab, Concertex, Trenway, ESI, the Fellows brand, Indiana Furniture, Kessenbaumer, Nook, and Trinity. And so we're excited to take this group on the road. So, John, who is this event open to? I mean, who should come to this, and who is it open to?
I would say it's open to anybody who feels safe and comfortable getting out and attending an event like this. That you have to feel confident that we're doing everything we can to hold it in a safe and healthy environment. But there's nobody who would not be invited to attend this. And I think that if you know Stuart Brown and his spirit that's going into this roadshow, and Sid, the effort that you're putting into it from a content perspective, I think that this is, each of these events is so carefully curated. And I think there's just going to be, I don't want to say, oh, there's something for everyone here. But it's, it's just, we're so long overdue for something like this. Whether you want a connection to product, or you want a connection to thought leadership, or you want a connection to the social element of our industry, that's what this is really all about. It's the spirit of that social networking that we all know this industry thrives on, and we've been deprived of for so long. So, I mean, I would love to see everybody, come out to this.
So, Rob, from your perspective, adding to what John said, who should attend this event? Who would this be beneficial for?
Well, I think any designers who are working on projects. I mean, there's from what I'm hearing out there, projects are still moving forward. It's just very difficult to see new products and get an idea for what's out there. This is a perfect opportunity to bring your customer. If you're a designer and they've got a project, or you just want to see the latest thinking from the industry, and hear about what's going on in the industry, as John touched on, and intimately, Sid. I mean, each of these events is really an event unto itself. I mean, there's going to be learning, CEUs. There's going to be, live events like this. So we're trying to make it, not only informative, but fun and educational. We understand people may be a little hesitant to get out, but, and it truly was a balancing act trying to come up with the right dates for this, with safety 100% in mind. we initially thought that we would do this in April, but it was going to be too early for people. And
Yeah.
we wanted to make sure as many people who wanted to get vaccinated could be by the time the event happened.
Sure.
So I think it's, hopefully this is the coming out party for the industry.
Oh, I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
I think
So, go ahead,
I
John.
think also too. Sorry, Sid, but I think that the manufacturers in our industry haven't stopped creating over the last year,
Yeah.
and they've been, in spite of the global pandemic and healthcare and economic crisis that we've been suffering through, they're continuing to introduce new product, right? So they are continuing to look for inspiration in the way that they create brand and brand
Yeah.
story. And I think a lot of designers, when they have an opportunity to talk to manufacturers about new product and where the technology is taking us, that's very inspirational. And I think designers need that. That's a big part of how they create,
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to recap this. So the event is open to basically anybody that would like to attend. If you're a designer, an interior designer, you're more than welcome to come. If you're a manufacturer that has reps locally or independent reps are welcome to come. Dealers are certainly welcome to come and participate and bring in users if you have any users would like to look at some products. So it's just a great thing for our industry. The registration link is also in the chat, but it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. So please head over to breakoutevent.org and register. And you have to register by location. You'll see all the locations there. Click that link, it'll register, and then we'll know you're there. So I wanted to spend just a couple of minutes, excuse me, chatting about something both of you have mentioned, which is what's happening at these events. So I got involved about a month or so ago to help kind of create the experience at the event as it relates to content. So I want to just kind of share a little bit about what we're going to be doing. You're going to be seeing a lot of my face in the month of, in the month of May. So get ready for those of you that are fans, get ready. You're going to see a lot of me. So we're going to have an interview with the local ASID chapter president that will be streamed live. We have a guest speaker and or panelist that happened during what we're calling lunchtime learning hour. We're going to have a CEU at each location. We'll have a CEU. We do have a cocktail party that'll wrap us up at the end of the day and the afternoon from 4 to 5 each afternoon. And then throughout the day, we will be going live on Instagram doing booth reviews of the various booths per location. So you want to head over to Instagram and here on LinkedIn and be sure that you follow Spring Breakout so that you can be notified when we do go live. You get to see the booths. So those of you that are maybe on the West Coast or up in the upper Midwest where the event's not coming to, you can see some of the products on Instagram. So that's happening 3 or 4 times during the course of the day. We also will, the Trend Report podcast will actually be going live 3 times during the course of the day as well, where we'll be also interviewing the vendors that are there. That will be streamed on the YouTube channel for the Spring Breakout. So you want to go over there as well and be sure that you're following Spring Breakout over there. And then the Trend Report also has a YouTube channel. So follow us there as well. So you get notifications of when we go live with these interviews. And then we'll wrap up the day with a designer spotlight interview. So at each location, the last Trend Report Live will be with an interior designer in that marketplace, talking about what's happening and trends and things of that nature. And then the last thing that we do will be an Instagram Live that will happen from the cocktail party. So you'll get to hear directly from the people that experience the event, that are relaxing and finally connecting together. So, we're excited about the content and the media.
It's a chance for anybody to get out of your sweatpants and put socks on again and dress up, which you probably haven't done in about a year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, put on your dress up pants and come out and
put
hang
on
out
your
with
good
us.
stuff.
Yeah, I love that, John. Get out of your sweatpants. All right, so last question, and then I'll ask you guys for some final thoughts. So, Rob, I know we've talked about this as well with John, but what type of sponsorships are available for this if other people would like to get involved in sponsoring this event?
Well, I mean, as you can imagine, a traveling event like this takes some effort. So we do have some sponsorships available for our cocktail party, for at each location, for media sponsorship, because there's all kinds of equipment that we need to bring along with us. This is really the logistics of this. And you know, John, you mentioned Stuart Brown at Nook. He was really my partner in crime on this, and getting this first planned. We were the ones who really started talking about this and kind of imagining whether it could be done or not, and whether it should be done or not, and how we should do it. So, you know, shout out to Stuart and Shayna Phillips, also on the Nook team, who's just you know, amazing in helping to organize this, which, you know, I couldn't do alone, or John couldn't do alone. You know, it's a group effort, and I really think it's a great group of people, and it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you know, we haven't had fun in this industry in a while, so you know, it's been all PPE and all kinds of you know, stuff that we're not used to. We need to get back to doing what we do best, which is, you know, creating amazing spaces for customers. So
yeah, absolutely. So just to recap the sponsorship opportunities, there's a location site sponsor at each location. There is a food and beverage sponsorship at each location. There's a live media sponsor opportunity at each location. And then there's the happy hour cocktail party at each location. So for anybody that's listening to this, either live or on the replay, if you're interested in a sponsorship, just head over to breakoutevents.org. There's a link there to request information about sponsorships, or you can reach out to me as well here on LinkedIn. And inquire about a sponsorship. We're happy to talk to you about that. They are filling up quickly. So, you know, if you want to jump in on that, please feel free to do so. So as we wrap up, we're right at the top of the hour. Good job, guys. John, take us home with any final thoughts about the event or encouragement for people to attend the event.
Yeah, listen, I can't wait for these to start. I think it's the time of year when you know, it's going to be safe to be outside and to be out and about, and we're so long overdue to actually look at stuff and talk to people that we haven't been able to see face to face in a year. So, you know, I'm really excited. I think it's awesome that we have a group of manufacturers that want to take this road trip across country. I kind of feel like, you know, it sounds like it's a caravan, you know, it's like, so it's bringing me back to the 70s when, you know, used to talk about these convoys. We all need to have CB radios, you know, and stay in touch with each other. But,
well, you bring up a good point. We need to acknowledge our freight carrier. Thank you, Stuart, for bringing that up. Flock Freight has been instrumental in helping make sure that we get the products to Dallas at the location and then carrying them. Literally, guys, what's happened is that all the product comes to Dallas. Flock Freight's picking it all up and going to carry it. Follow Stuart and Rob in a car, city to city, delivering the product. So it's going to be really fun. John, I don't know about you, but I'm flying to the locations. I'm not riding in a car with Stuart and Rob for 8 days or 10 days. You kidding me?
I hope they both. I hope they both wear GoPro cameras, because I feel like there's a documentary here in the making.
Oh, that's great. So, John, Stuart wants to know how many locations you're going to join us at. He's putting you on the spot.
Yeah, he is, man. I don't want to overpromise. Tell him I'm going to check the weather report first, and I'll go wherever the sunshine is.
Oh, that's great. All right. So, thank you, John. Rob, any final thoughts for us as we close out here?
Oh, I just want to welcome everyone to register. It's free to do so. You know, I can't wait to see all of you on the road. And one thing just to note, these locations were chosen on purpose so we could spread out too. I don't want to, you know, keep harping on the safety thing, but that really was at the forefront of our mind in all of this. We picked locations that we could, you know, spread out, have them be wide open, you know, so everyone feels safe and comfortable coming out to these.
That's great. So listen, I want to shout out to all of you that joined us live today. We have a good active chat. I can't see how many people are here, but thanks for joining the first ever Trend Report Live. I appreciate you being here. Again, stay tuned for more. Be sure you like the Spring Breakout page here on LinkedIn, as well as over on Instagram and YouTube. And be sure to follow the Trend Report YouTube channel to get notifications of when the Trend Report goes live throughout the month of May and the first week of June. And we are 2 weeks away. So get ready, Dallas. Spring Breakout's coming your way. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you guys in Dallas on May the 11th. All right.
See you in
Take
Dallas.
care.
Thanks, Sid. Thanks, Rob. Take care, guys.